Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Silent Hill 2 commentary. So we found major disappointment in the box, but we got a button, so off we go. We finished the hospital in this part, so which is why it's a tad longer, as well as this little section here. When we push the button in and head down to the elevator, we get invited to a game show.
Oh, this scene. I remember this. This was incredibly random and out of nowhere in the original game. I'm glad it's still the same here.
There's actually a fun speedrunning trick where there's a speaker underneath the button pad. If you shoot it with your shotgun, it just ends it, and you can just go to the bottom floor.
James Sunderland. James, are you ready to play trick or treat?
Not really, Bob.
That's terrible to use. Oh. We're getting a lore dump.
So, like, that's intentional. If you shoot the elevator thing, it just skips this whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a speedrun trick. Because I know people would want to skip this because it's just 3 minutes of just standing here listening to him.
Man.
I'll take 106, Bill.
It's Bob.
Yes, Jeff.
I lost on Jeopardy, baby.
I don't know if I would necessarily want, if I were speedrunning, if I would necessarily want a mandatory break period like this to be removed from the run. Because if everyone has to go through it, then you just get 3 minutes to take a drink and catch your breath, you know, before you have to rush through the next segment. But
it depends on how, like sweaty you are about it, you know?
Well, yeah, but if it can be skipped, that means you have to skip it because you have to make good time, so you have to skip it and you don't get that break at all. You know? It's all or nothing with something like this. So
it depends on how long the speedrun actually is. Like, cuz
Speedrun's less than 2 hours than I remember correctly.
If it can be skipped, you have to skip it. It doesn't matter what kind of speedrunning you're doing. If it's a speedrun, you have to speedrun.
Well, I more mean, like, the necessity of having, like, a part where people can take a breath is more the thing. Like, in many RPG speedruns, there's, like, unskippable cutscenes or parts where there's forced downtime. I'm sure the runners appreciate that because they need a break, but,
if
you're playing, like, a 30-minute long platformer,
if it's a 30-minute long platformer, yeah. And, I mean, this game is only 10 hours, so.
I think the speedrun for this is a little less than 2 hours, if I remember correctly.
That's, as far as, like, some speedruns go, that's not too strenuous. Like, then again, speedrunners don't care. Like, if you're into that kind of game, I find a lot of people, like, just dislike anything that takes the foot off the gas a lot of the time. You know, they're in it for the stress, for lack of a better word.
I guess I'll just never understand the speedrunning mentality then.
I mean, I get it. It's not that different from the people who want to be the best at, like, a given sport for their team, you know, or, you know, practice any kind of competitive game. Speedrunning, at the end of the day, is a competition where you want to prove how good you are at something. And, you know, if there's ever a point where, you know, you have a game where there's, like, a solid minute of downtime, a lot of the time they get bored because they're doing this to show, like, to prove to themselves, like, how good they are at this execution. It's why some speedruns are played more often than others. Like, ones where there's a lot of tricks to it and you have to know a bunch of things and there's a lot of execution complexity tend to be more popular and longer reaching than ones even where there's a lot of cool glitches, but it's pretty easy to do.
You know, you said all that, and the only thing my brain got hung up on is 1 minute? That's all it takes to get bored? Really?
Dude, we live in the TikTok era now. If your thing lasts longer than 45 seconds, then the attention graph is off down to the bowels of hell. See, that pause was too long. We're going to lose the viewers. We're going to lose them. No, talk about a meme. Talk about Skibbity? Is that still the hip thing? Am I with it, kids?
With your rock band music shirt and your backwards cap.
I want to get that music band shirt so bad. Like, so that would actually be a great Halloween costume. Oh my god, hold on.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi, kid.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi. Oh my god, hold on. Actually, now you know that this was recorded before Halloween.
Before Halloween, but after the Trails in the Sky remake came out. Which is why I keep desperately trying to stop myself from going on a tangent about that game. I almost did it at the end of the last part.
Oh, yep, people do sell the shirt. Okay, there we go. Good to know. All right, I've got a plan. I'm so fucking smart. Oh my god.
So you need you also need to get a backwards cap and a skateboard.
Oh, skateboards are expensive. Oh man.
You could get it cheap. You could probably find a cheap one at Goodwill or something.
That's fair. Yeah, I'll have to take a look. Ew. So like the walls are supposed to be leaking like blood or something?
Just gross fluid. It doesn't have to be blood.
It's probably at least 30% blood.
Well, I mean, going by how biological parts of the Nightmare World got for Heather Mason in 3, I wouldn't be surprised if it was blood.
Usually the blood gets off on the 3rd floor.
I mean, isn't the idea, though, that it's supposed to be different for different people?
Sort of, but...
I remember in Silent Hill 1, it was just very dark and, like, red tint to everything.
It was very rusty, yes. The reason it's similar in Silent Hill 1 to what it looks like in Silent Hill 3 is because it's, like, 2 iterations of the same person who are casting the nightmare, so... the Nightmare World looked pretty similar in both games, although, Heather Mason's was, more high-fidelity graphics and stuff, so they could do more with it.
The power of the PS2 compared to the PS1. Which was actually pretty substantial leap at the time, so...
Yeah.
I think, to my mind, the leaps from the 16-bit consoles to the PS1 N64 generation, and then N64 PS1 to the PS2 GameCube kind of generation, still feel to me like the biggest leaps in technology. I mean, granted, this could just be nostalgia / this was when I was playing games as a kid. So it could just feel that way to me. But especially considering the past couple of generations where it's all felt more marginal, it definitely seems like those are the most drastic shifts.
It was always, in some sense, more marginal than that. The reason console players got those huge shifts is because they had one console for multiple years running, whereas PC gamers could, incrementally upgrade their kit and play new games every year or so, So, gaming, as a general development thing, was developing in a slower arc over that time. Console players just didn't get to see that. So it's all a perspective thing, really.
You can kind of see that with the Dreamcast being kind of an in-between console in a lot of ways.
Yeah. The Dreamcast did have that early 2000s PC gaming vibe.
Oh, that is true.
Also, arcade machines were another example of gaming developing along a more gradual arc because, every game had its own goddamn hardware.
That is true. If you look at an arcade game from, like... You actually see this the most in the really, really old games. Like, an arcade game from 1985 and an arcade game from, like, 1990, even though it's still the same generation, you're still playing the NES. Like, the power in play there is very, very different.
But in between those 2 years, you had like 6 different hardware configurations that were all doing slightly better things. How the hell did you get here, Maria?
Sorry. Anyway, I'm glad you're alive.
Anyway? What do you mean, anyway?
Uh-huh.
I was almost killed back there.
Where are you?
I have never been so scared in my whole life.
Okay.
All you care about is that dead wife.
I mean, that's why I'm here.
You couldn't care less about me.
Not really, no.
No, I just...
Then stay with me. Don't leave me alone.
You're being emotionally manipulative, aren't you, Maria?
You're so
What? No, never. You're just saying that because you hate me.
The line between where Maria's, agency and self-awareness exists and abruptly stops is very blurry, especially considering that added story, Born from a Wish, where, you get to actually play as Maria and
So what about
see that she does indeed have some self-awareness and isn't just Silent Hill being Silent Hill.
what?
So there's different endings in this game. Do your actions along the way impact these cutscenes in a significant manner, or is it just
No.
once you reach the ending? Okay.
There are some optional scenes that will play depending on what you do. Like you can check in on Maria during the main hospital section and they'll play an extra scene there. But these main scenes will not change, no.
Yes.
Okay.
Those optional scenes contribute points toward the different endings, I think.
Yes.
Come on, let's go look for her.
How the hell did she get here?
That's the question, isn't it? From here on, Maria's part in the story gets very trippy.
Yes.
I think this is the last time we'll see her as an actual character who exists in her own space. And even originally, it's debatable whether she was intended to be viewed as that at this point in the story. Born from a Wish really complicates matters just by existing.
And that was only in one specific version of the game?
The Xbox version, yes.
Okay.
And possible re-releases of the PS2 version, I'm not entirely sure.
I did play it, and I think it was in my PS2 version, but I'm not sure. It's been a hot minute. I don't know where I put my copies of the games.
It definitely wasn't in the original version of the PS2, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. It might be in the PC port.
Yeah, it might be there too.
It's interesting that there's all these different versions of the game and then none of them have all the same stuff. It reminds me a lot of Resident Evil 4, where no one version of the game is the same, really, until you get to the extremely modern ports where those are all pretty similar. But the PS2, Xbox, GameCube, Wii version, and then there was a re-released PS2 version, if I remember correctly, right?
Was there?
There was a GameCube version, a PS2 version, and then a Wii version. There was no re-release of a PS2. The PS2 added some things.
Oh, that's
had
what
lower
I'm thinking.
had lower resolution on everything.
Which is why all of the Ada cutscenes in the second mode are low resolution as shit in all the modern ports.
Yes.
They do not have the in-engine cutscenes anymore.
Oh, funny thing about this cutscene, I was watching someone stream this, and James forgot to load.
So you're just looking at this box?
Yeah, you're just looking at this box and it moves on its own. Maria's talking to no one.
Gotta love the Unreal Engine.
Having trouble there?
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, no. It wasn't James who forgot to load. It was Maria who forgot to load.
Right.
Which makes it even funnier, honestly.
You're supposed to be the big man around here.
Oh my god, don't pull this shit.
This is what Lara sees when she looks into the room. Just James talking to someone who isn't there.
Yep.
I like how at this point Maria starts to get really passive aggressive and emasculating toward James, which ties into his particular nightmares.
What's this?
Yeah, so imagine a cutscene where James is just looking at this, Maria's not there, and then the ring just floats on its own.
Not very cute, is it? Here, why don't you take it?
Well, I can't hold things. They don't make pockets for this outfit. Oh my god, there are... No, she has pockets. The jacket has pockets. Oh, copper ring, lead ring. We're just finding all of the level 1 JRPG accessories, aren't we?
This one gives me +1 to physical attack.
Oh boy, man. +1 to physical attack. That sure is great when my attack does 10 damage.
It's a ring of protection +1. Gives you a -1 to your armor class. And if that doesn't make sense to you, don't worry. It didn't make sense to a lot of people.
I just like to imagine that, the ring, whenever you, make the roll by 1 and it's because you're wearing a ring, it's just you hold up your hand and then the sword hits the ring specifically.
Man.
Nope, can't go that way.
Ah, yeah, good old Nightmare World, where the floor just disappears at random.
But more importantly, we have a game show to answer.
Oh, right. I don't remember what the questions were at all. Is there like a way you can find out what the answers to any of those things are?
Yes, because one was in a newspaper clipping, one is on the map, which you can still look at, by the way, and the other was part of the town sequence before going to the hospital.
So you can look at old maps even when you're past that area?
Yes.
Okay.
The answer is from Ocarina of Time. 23 is number 1. Yay! You only get one shot at this unless you reload your saves, so...
Oh boy, I love that shit. And you get shotguns and you get that's a lot of items. Okay.
Yeah, you get 2 cases of shotgun shells and 2 syringes.
Yeah. Although you're doing pretty good at hoarding all of the healing items. But
Once I get to Eddie, I won't.
Oh. Oh no.
Silent Hill do be like that, because there's no inventory space if you're any sort of decent at the game. You spend most of the game like lugging around a massive pile of healing items. It's even funnier in Silent Hill Origins, where you collect a bunch of improvised weapons. Just everything from bats and stuff and knives to pieces of furniture that you swing around. But you still have no inventory limit, so you just have a massive stockpile of everything and anything that is not nailed down, and you're carrying the whole thing everywhere because you're good enough at the game not to break all of your weapons immediately. You know? It's honestly the best part about that game, because Silent Hill Origins has a really irritating goddamn structure.
I mean, it sounds interesting. Like, you can just find something on the ground and make it into an improvised weapon, pretty much.
It's not exactly like Dead Rising or anything. You just find an object and you bludgeon things with it. It's, you know, it's just
Okay.
like there's a lot of stuff that you can use. So by the midpoint of the game, you're overflowing with random junk that you can just bash enemies over the head with.
That is actually funny, because in Dead Rising, one of the main things about that game is that you only can carry so much shit. I mean, granted, in that game, you can carry around a giant teddy bear, 3 machine guns. Like the stuff you can hold is comically large, but it's still like inventory management matters in that game, and it's, even though it's not really a true horror game, it's basically just an action game with zombies.
I know what's about to happen now. I just wonder how they'll execute it cinematically, because this was an awkward sequence to play in the original game, but very striking. It is done? Sick no more. Huh.
Hey, I mean, I guess the hospital worked then, in that case.
I'm cured, huzzah!
Seriously, Ryan, go to bed. You've been playing all night.
Death is a kind of cure, isn't it? You're up here getting on Ryan's case for being awake at 5 a.m., and I'm just like, that's like being awake at 10 for me. I get home at 11.
Who was playing Silent Hill at 3 in the morning? Oh boy, 3 a.m.
This is the point of the night where I really have to stop myself from playing whatever it is I'm playing so that I can actually get 6+ hours of sleep. Maybe. Here it comes. They're going all in on the red light, which I'm pretty sure wasn't a major thing in this scene originally. But, you know.
I mean, it works. It's creepy. Oh, that's convenient. Maria, do you want to run a little faster? Like, than this little...
She's in heels.
Why did you go to Silent Hill in heels?
Wasn't her choice, but...
She didn't go to Silent Hill in heels. She was born in Silent Hill in heels because she is basically an avatar for James's repressed sexual urges. How did you get behind him?
Come on, hurry!
Oh, come on, you could squeeze through that. Not anymore, you can't, but...
Hey, Pyramid Head, are you walking slowly just for, like, the drama of this situation?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I've been impaled.
Okay, that was executed pretty okay. In the original game, it was a bit awkward to play through that sequence because of the camera angles.
Like, they wouldn't show her close up there when she died.
Oh,
no,
no,
it's
no.
more that it's fixed camera, so you'd wind up running backwards into Pyramid Head sometimes.
Oh, okay.
It depended on what control mode you were using. One of those. That section was a strong argument for going with tank controls over camera relative controls because, yeah. A lot of people play the old Silent Hill games with camera relative controls when they can. I always go back to tank controls because, with the camera swinging around the way it does, I just appreciate being able to control my direction with a little bit more consistency.
You let Maria die. Achievement unlocked. Oh, man. Is there a way to turn off achievement unlocks in games like these?
You can turn off notifications console side.
Okay, because if I was playing a game like this, that would majorly ruin the mood.
Yeah, I have all of my notifications turned off on Steam. I do not necessarily need to know exactly when I get an achievement. Okay. Someone's religious.
Well, that's also just the cross symbol for a hospital. So it's not, I mean, they're probably...
Yeah, the bond would need to be longer if it was a Christian cross.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some, correlation between, how that ended up being that symbol anyway. But,
I would be surprised if any hospital on Earth ever put such a chunky cross on their keys. Because, holy hell. But, you're not entirely correct. There is some religious iconography that uses the, more even-sided cross in it.
Oh, that's true. I think, some Orthodox religions might use it. I'd have to look it up to be sure.
I mean, the use of the cross in healthcare services comes from religion in the first place. So,
Yep, but in the next part, we leave the hospital finally, so we'll see you guys all then. Later.